SNP spokesperson Deidre Brock.
Mr Speaker, a lot has happened since the Leader and I last faced each other, and I do want to commend her for her intervention in last week's events. She acted, as she said, to defend the rights of minority parties. That was the right thing. But what a dismal reflection on Westminster that the rights of minority party MPs in this place now need protecting and defending. And the whole House knows how we got here. Now, at some point, we will get to the bottom of what pressure, exactly what dealings were done behind Victorian screens and what simply urging the Speaker actually meant. To be fair, some Labour figures were fessing up at the weekend or perhaps gloating about their tactics, all because the SNP wanted to debate an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Now, people might ask today why I'm not tackling the Leader on her government's economic policies or Brexit or child poverty. And we will return to our normal business question exchanges, of course. But at the core of our work as MPs is that all members, all parties, must be treated fairly and must be seen to be treated fairly. For as long as Scotland sends MPs here, we will expect and demand that. No one party can be allowed to change the rules by bullying. Now, there isn't a great deal the Leader of the House and I agree on, but I know on this we do. What use can she make of her officers to ensure that we never find ourselves in this sorry procedural mess ever again? Can she tell us when the replacement SNP Opposition Day will be held? And finally, I have to say this, after the giant lobby of Parliament by campaigners yesterday, I must again raise the government's repeated delays in delivering full and fair compensation to those infected and affected by the contaminated blood scandal. I know the Leader recognises the fully justified depth of anger about this, so can she tell us what progress has been made ahead of the budget to set up the structures of the compensation scheme transparently and in consultation with victims and their families so it's ready to start allocating funds at the earliest possible opportunity?
Well, can I thank the Honourable Lady for her question, and I understand why people will have to wait for normal combat to be resumed between us. I do disagree with one thing she said, and that, and other honourable members have said it, is that this chamber, Westminster, collectively did not cover itself in glory last week. I think that this issue has been about the actions of particular individuals and what they have done. I think that many members of this House did a good thing last week by standing up to protect the rights and the foundation, the rule book that we operate on. And those that were caught up in something else, I think many members have recognised that that was the wrong thing to do and that we do need to address that. The government is going to give the SNP more time to have the debates that it ought to have. And I understand that the Speaker has also commissioned the Procedure Committee to look at the particular procedural issues that happened last week. I understand that is narrow, the scope of that work, so it should be swiftly done, and I hope that it would be concluded before we, the SNP, have their next debate, so that they can have confidence in how that debate will run. On her final very important point, we have just heard from the Paymaster General, who is leading the issue of infected blood on behalf of the government. She is quite right that I have very strong views about this, but I have to tell her that they are shared by the Paymaster General and the government benches. That is why we set up the inquiry. That is why we set up the compensation study to run concurrently with the inquiry, so we didn't have to wait any more time before people got proper redress. And I know that the Paymaster General is working on this very, very swiftly. He updates me on a regular basis, and we will keep the House informed.